All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NIO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, NIO has had some volatility for now. Right now, this has actually been some crazy volatility. I mean, this upward trend was pretty stable, and all our consolidations previously to that upward trend, which was pretty explosive, has been pretty stable with obviously the volatility of the market, the ups and downs. I mean, that's normal. We're bound to, bump into the ups and downs and so forth. Some people selling for profit, some people uncertain, some people just fear, or buying and selling and buying back in and so forth. And that creates that up and down, but then you go up to the next level, up and down consolidation, and next level. Now this was pretty explosive, but since this high rise here that we hit almost $50 and it dropped almost $10, yes, because of the whole news and the short seller and everything, I get it, but overall this stock is being very volatile in the last week. It's been a little bit more volatile than it usually has been. And the question is, did the bullish run end? Because right now it's having trouble getting back up to those highs. And it's jumping up and it's jumping down, but a little bit too quickly for what NIO usually reacts like. And this is just me seeing it based off the chart. I don't know if you guys agree with me, if you guys have your own insights. I know a lot of people are bullish on NIO, and I completely don't disagree with that, and that's fine. There's a lot of potential here for NIO. I've seen all types of different analysis and people and articles saying, plus $50, upwards to 100, upwards to 200, and those predictions are all respectfully, as long as they have some type of feedback with it that's actually backing it up, right? Some type of proof on how they see this reaching those numbers. I can see it. I can see it happening because this company is growing. It has exponential growth in the last couple of months. And then also it's expanding out of China. It's going into Europe, supposedly, some articles say. And if it just continues to expand worldwide or to other parts of the world, I can see NIO delivering a product, delivering a service, delivering an innovation that's going to continue to grow. I completely can agree with that, but right now the stock is having some trouble based off of what it's showing us here in the chart, staying up. And that's not typical for NIO. Now, NIO could be in the process of forming some type of consolidation, don't get me wrong, because this has been a pretty wild run up. This has been more than the unusual, and here we are with NIO kind of starting to form a sideways movement, but it's too volatile. I mean, this is just the beginning of it. So if it just kind of stays around this area to build some type of consolidation to then go to the next highs and the next levels, I completely see some healthiness in NIO right now. But the form that this is taking, I mean, it's actually looking way too volatile and looking a little bit at a more riskier point of, is this going to continue to break support levels, or is this going to get back up? Or will this do that sideways movement? Because if it stays around the same area and it forms some type of consolidation like here, and like back in this time in September, then we could see this actually go ahead and say, okay, well, volatility is normal, the ups and downs, I get it, and now it's going to go ahead and go to the next levels, and it'll take itself up to newer highs. And that would be kind of more of what NIO has been showing us to be the norm, quote unquote, the norm for the stock over time, rather than this crazy volatilityness of up and down. I mean, I understand that this was a really wild ride upwards, and I get it, But this right here in the last couple of days, like jumping up, jumping almost all those gains down, jumping back up, and it's jumping down again. Where's it going to go next, you know? So I would like to see your guys' comments and what you guys think. If you agree with me, is this in the process of forming a consolidation? Is this actually going to go in the other direction? Is it going to have trouble getting back up to these highs up here of $54? I would love to see your guys' insights and what other investors are thinking or seeing. So let's go ahead and see here what is important for tomorrow. So right now, we currently see that this broke through resistance, barely hung out above it, broke through the 50-day moving average and broke back down below it, and then brought itself back up, hit a high here of about 49.36, and then just dropped down and is currently below the 50-day moving average. This has been a tug of war here between the bears and the bulls, and we're back down to 44.98. So we're now $10 away from the highs here. The highest point was 54.20. If you guys haven't written that down, I would really suggest that you write that down. 54.20 is an important number for the near term in the next coming weeks and months, according to the volatility of this stock if it continues to go up, and also according to the volatility of how this reacts. Now, the lowest point reached is down here at 40.56. I'd write that down as well. Those 2 points are the highest and lowest points reached in the last couple of days, and they're going to be very important because if they get broken through, if it's down on the lower end at 40.56, this is going to hit newer lows. And if it's up at the higher end, 54.20 gets broken through, this is going to hit newer highs. So we need to keep those numbers in mind. Now, currently, the 50-day moving average is 45.52. Can't land exactly on it. It jumps from 50 to 53, but to be exact, it's 45.52. As long as we're below it, the bears are in control. The moment we're above it, the bulls are in control. So we're going to look at this, and this is going to be a pretty broad stretch here based off of the chart and what it's showing us. So our new resistance level is the highest point reached in today and in this recovery from those lows down here at 40.50 and some change, right? Way back in this time right here, back from these recoveries. So we are currently seeing the highest point reached, and there was a rejection quickly after, and we're down back to the 44 cent range. $45 range and $44 and $45 range. The lowest point reached down here is way down here at 42.51. I'd keep that number in mind. Super important number, because if that gets broken through, you could see the behavior of the stock between that point and the lowest point way back here at 40.53 and see how quickly it's moving to newer lows, if the bulls are trying to reappear, and so forth. So that's important to keep in mind. But we also have our first resistance level before getting down there, and that is right here at 44.10. This right here is super important to keep in mind, because if it gets broken through, it will be turned into a resistance. 44.10, you want to pay close attention to it. How quickly are the bears tearing this down and bringing it down to newer lows, pulling it away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction? And also keep in mind that we're already in bearish territory, and if this gets broken through at 44.10, this will be on its way to newer lows, newer support levels, and getting deeper into bearish territory. So super important for every single investor to pay close attention to the behavior of this stock if it breaks through 44.10. As we see here live, the bulls are fighting hard to bring this back up, and we're currently at 45.31, give or take, to 45.86. We'll see how it ends that 30-minute time frame, but the bulls are fighting to bring this up. Now, here we are with our resistance. This is pretty far away from the 50-day moving average, so I want to let every single investor know that the 50-day moving average is super important to keep in mind and use as a resistance before getting to this level, because that's the first step to getting into bullish territory. If it gets broken through and the bulls can use it as support, their next resistance level would be 49.37 to pull further away from the 50-day moving average to reach newer highs and new resistance levels by turning 49.37 into a support. So super important for the bulls to break through this, but before getting there, they do have to break through the 50-day moving average and work their way up to newer highs. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.